Gang, 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 gang. Yin yang and its twang. Listen to this, y'all. Oh, don't mess with us. You know what I want to say. That sounds good. It sounds really good. That sounds like that 1987 Chevy Caprice Classic.
Yeah.
Man.
It is giving us everything that we thought about and more.
The heat be blowing.
The heat be blowing.
Let me turn it down.
So we are here to just tell you all about Taco, how we end up getting Taco, how was the drive from Wisconsin to Kentucky, and where we are as of right now.
I was at home minding my own business, and I was talking to my mom on the phone like I normally do, going through the Facebook Marketplace ads, looking at different RVs, trailers, pickup trucks, and whatever else I'd be looking at. So she said, what about this one? And I looked it out, and at first I laughed because I seen all that wallpaper. I said, lies you tell, right? But then I said, well, aha, maybe, just maybe. I said, that one looking all right. Yeah. So I called the owner, whose name is Taco. So Taco is a 76-year-old white male, lives in Appleton, Wisconsin. I called him up on the phone and said, hey, just calling about this RV you got. Tell me a little bit about it. He said, well, I owned it for 36 years. I'm the second owner. And I've been diagnosed with cancer. And I need to sell some things. I have a shop, my profession. I am a race car engine mechanic or something like that. And I said, oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your cancer and things like that. He beat it the first time. Right now, as of that I know of, he's still fighting it. But anyway, so I asked him about it. We had a nice conversation about 30-40 minutes. And he said, you know what, if you want it, come on and get it, I'll hold it for you. He had a friend of his nephew was coming, or his son, I'm sorry, coming to pick it up that particular weekend. It's been garage store the entire time. He done all of the work on it, and he kept it in really good condition. So y'all seen the short where I asked my dad to go and pick it up and all of that. My dad gave it the stamp of approval. Then that's it. We went out there. The rest is history. We, went out to Wisconsin, checked it out, looked at it. We was all happy and everything. Now, getting out to Wisconsin from Kentucky, we got a rental car. We drove the rental car to Nashville. We hopped on a plane. I think it was American. We took that to Philadelphia, got a little lunch. From Philadelphia, we went to Chicago. Got off the plane in Chicago, jumped on the Van Gelder bus, drove that into Madison, Wisconsin, where I met my folks. That's where I'm from. After that, we stayed the night. My mom made us a fantastic breakfast. I'm talking about bacon, eggs, grits, orange juice, cranberry juice,
Coffee.
With
She introduced me to the coffee with cinnamon and creamer. Okay, changed my life. All of that. Mm-hmm.
So we got up pretty early. We were so excited that morning to go and see the RV. And we don't have footage because somehow on one of our SD cards we lost it. So
yeah. So I was very upset about that because I actually had recorded a lot of footage, not only of the breakfast, but of our first interaction with Taco.
They got a horn. Wait, hold on, y'all. I gotta go wash my hands or something. I gotta go back to go get a snack or something. Excuse me, y'all. Let me turn my seat to the side. Oh, how I do it. Oh, there we go. A little shift. So I can get up. Excuse me, y'all. Let me walk to the back.
Black people are always hungry. Sunday morning, we knew we had to get back in a timely manner because I had to go to work on Monday. And if you know, you know. But anyway, 15-hour drive from Wisconsin to Kentucky. Now, we had already known that it hadn't had a proper tune-up in a while from what her dad looked at. And you know, just knowing any vehicle that you pick up, you definitely want to make sure that you have a proper tune-up, oil change, all of that. So the drive was very long but it rode smooth. It smelled like gas in here, which gas and smoke the whole way, so we had to roll the windows down to just adjust. They see you back?
Oh.
Keep cutting me off.
So let me tell y'all, my bad. Let me tell y'all about the mechanic pieces. So it did have a gas smell to it when we first drove it down. Yes, it needed a tune-up, it needed an oil change, all that stuff. So guess what? For all my folks that know about cars and oil pans and oil pan plugs and all that, guess what the owner did? Y'all ain't gonna believe this here. We went to take it to get an oil change before we left Wisconsin to drive down to Kentucky. Why this man epoxy the drain for the oil pan? I said, oh my God. So he epoxied it because the oil pan plug was stripped. He tried different types of plugs, but he could not get one to latch on without it having an oil leak. We couldn't get an oil change. And so I called him up. I'm like, bruh, how was you changing the oil? And he said he was basically siphoning it out of the top, out of the dipstick, and just putting new engine oil down there. So I'm like, okay, I'm obviously not doing that. So we decided that once we got it back, we'll put it in the shop and just get a new oil pan. He said that, hey, you're in luck. I got an oil pan in there already. I was going to do it, but I'm 76 years old and pineapples. I just decided to siphon it off the top. So, okay, cool. We drive our 15 hours. You want to talk about the 15-hour drive?
Yeah, so the 15-hour drive was pretty long, but it rode very well. What we noticed was that our little side door in the back was shaking a lot. It had smoke smell and gas smell all throughout here. We knew that was attributed to it needing a tune-up and all of that. The gas. Can we talk about the gas?
Oh, yeah. 2 fuel tanks. We have a front fuel tank and a rear fuel tank. And there's a toggle switch that lets you know if you're using gas from the front tank and the back tank. But guess what? On the rear tank, the sensor is not working. It's failing. But that's okay. You can switch it on the first tank, and it tells you, like right now, it tells me it has a half a tank of gas. But honestly, I think the sensor in the front tank is also failing too, because we never see it on full, do we? No matter how much we fill up the gas, it always say a half a tank or more. So you got to use this right here sometimes. Y'all know how them old school cars be, so don't come after me. So with that, I know that before I need to put gas in here, I can ride about 150 miles. I learned that pretty good. Probably a little bit more, but I didn't want to push it because it was new to us and I don't know it. Eventually, I'll get the sensors fixed or repaired, maybe. If you guys have any suggestions on how to unstick these sensors, let me know.
It was shaky. Driving the wheels, I'm not used to driving a 1985, so it was very shaky. I didn't even know that this existed, so I could have leaned when I was driving, but I learned it as time went on. It does have cruise control. I did try it out. It did work. I went up to maybe like 62, but I was still very scared. We took a lot of the back roads, which was very RV friendly, but we took the interstate leaving out. And that was a little too chaotic, especially with the wobbliness of the vehicle, not being used to it, the gas smell, the smoke smell. It was too much.
The smoke smell.
It did smell like smoke.
I didn't smell smoke.
It was like oily smoke.
The gas smell.
It was a lot.
It was oil. It wasn't. As I now have taken it to the shop and gotten it repaired and all that, the smell was definitely oil. So the 15 hours, we took the county roads because it's very RV friendly. There's a lot of RVs on the county roads. It was a very scenic, beautiful drive. Mm-hmm. It was very toxic. We had to roll down the windows. On the way down, we stopped at a couple of rest stops. As soon as we started hitting southern Illinois, I was knocked out in that Love's. I was knocked out.
And I could not sleep to save my life.
Gone. It was comfortable. Brand new mattress.
We had stopped at Walmart, got some sheets, got like some pillowcases. We had pillows from our travel that we put in our bags when we flew. And because it was only a one-way flight, we didn't have to really pack much.
Right.
So, because we knew we were driving back. We stopped at Buffalo Wild Wings also.
And had the nerve to eat dinner in the RV at the dinette table after we bleached it down. Y'all know how we do. But let me tell you something else. We sat on them cushions. When I tell you a puff of dust came up like that, I did not expect that. I said, God, dog. He kept it stored, but he did not clean it.
At all.
Which I didn't expect him to so much. You know, we do our own cleaning and everything like that.
And no shade, but y'all know men really can't get down like the women can with cleaning. Not saying y'all ain't clean. Not saying that.
Right.
But us African American females have a different way of cleaning. And I believe it at that.
Yeah. So, it was a little dusty, I ain't gonna lie to you. Got the sneezing and allergies went off and everything. But we left there. We took our time kind of getting back. And then, once it got dark, ooh, baby, let me tell y'all, that was scary as all hell. So, we was on the county roads. There was no street lights, no road lights, nothing. It was just semis. And you know those county roads, it's 2 lanes. So Jasmine's driving, I'm on the passenger side, and all it was big ass semi trucks. Every time one passed, it shook the whole RV, and I was jumping out of my skin the whole time.
Yeah.
It was scary for me.
And also the dashboard did not work. So
the lights in the dashboard, it blew a fuse. So I did stop at the gas station to try to get a new fuse, but since this is a 1985, they don't have them old ass fuses in stock. So I tried to use like the cell phone. I've got a little light. That made it rough at nighttime.
Because I couldn't see how fast I was going. And luckily I had my little phone mount on the side of the vent, so I was able to see, according to Google Maps, how fast I was going. But it was still very, very uncomfortable driving something that we weren't familiar with and trying to navigate all the way back home in a timely manner. So, but overall, it was very interesting driving Taco back. We learned a lot in that drive back, and we were just very happy and thankful that we made it back, because it was so much that needed to be done, which baby will talk more about. But I will say this, them tires, we were driving, 15 plus hours on tires from 1985.
Yeah, they were pretty old. The DOT sticker, I think, was like
something that we tried to put it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was like, that ain't even real.
Yeah, the man said those tires were over 25, 26 years old. He said, I can't believe you guys made it back on those tires. I'm surprised that none of them tires blew. He said they were dry rot and cracked and all types of stuff. I was like, damn, Dad.
And I was
look at?
Right, I was sitting right, and I'm sitting there doing 55, 60-ish miles per hour trying to get back in a timely manner for work, and it was just, well, we thank God we made it.
Yeah, we didn't even know, like, it rolled well to us. Aside from the oil smell, like, it was rolling. It was rolling. It wasn't loud, none of that. So we got back in at about 5 a.m. Jasmine had to report at 6:30 in the morning. So she literally had to run in the house, change,
put my PTs on, and dash back out.
And I wasn't driving. I drove about 20 minutes the whole time. She drove 15 hours straight with a couple of little naps because I just couldn't do it.
I survived off of Love's coffee and pure excitement.
I didn't sleep though. I was up, eyes bucked too.
She was up, and like I was exhausted because I still had to work that whole day and that whole week after we got Taco. So in the last video of us showing, like, walking through Taco, I had just came from PT formation. Yeah, I did, and I had just did PT, and I wanted to show exactly what we saw as soon as we got it home. So,
and then later that day, the next day or something like that, very close, took it straight over to Ford and dropped it off, gave them the keys and said, hey, this is y'all 1985, fix it. Which I'm thinking fixing was going to be a tune-up and an oil change and that oil pan. But $5,000 later, it was the oil pan, the tune-up, new tires. We need 6 of them because we got dualies. Aside from the oil pan, it was all maintenance stuff that needed to be done. So, and I got it done at the dealership. I don't trust a side mechanic when I first get a vehicle. I go straight to the dealership because I want to make sure that it's done properly, because I do not like driving a car that is not 100% mechanically sound. That's just my thing. That helps me feel safe, and I will pay for that.
And luckily we found a actual dealer, because we did have to look for a minute to see if we could find a Ford dealer to service an RV, especially a Class C motorhome. We decided to go with Ford directly, and originally I think we had checked out the place in Nashville, but they
and I don't think Camping World works on the mechanics of the vehicle, though.
They just do the inside part, like the housing part. So we were fortunate enough to find someone in our town that is Ford and is a dealer and is certified to work on like vehicles like this and like the big trucks and things like that, commercial vehicles, if you will. So so it worked out pretty good. Yeah, boy. That's all I got for y'all today. Stay tuned. It's time for the demo. It's time for us to get some rest. Yeah, we're about to get started on the demo of Taco and take you along. So again, if you like what you are hearing so far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Let us know what you are interested in seeing with Taco. And yeah, make sure you tune in for the next video. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.